Hey, this is Sally, and in this video, I have a special request from from Mike. He said, "Hey, I love your videos, but I have not been able to find exactly what I'm looking for. What I want to do is to be able to create an order acknowledgement, a packing list, and a bill of lading form from one main entry sheet. This might not be available in some other products that you're using, but this is something that is completely doable." In Microsoft Excel. In fact, I've done something like this previously, so I'm pretty excited. It's a bit complex, so this is going to be a longer video, but I'm going to show you how I would do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm working out of Excel 2016. Some of the more recent versions of it should be fairly similar to this. So I'm starting from the start page here. Usually I just start with a blank workbook, but since we already have an idea of what we want for starters, I'm going to just type in here order form. Typically I would create my own order form, but since Excel already has templates here, I'm going to start with one of those. So we've got some options here. We don't really want a purchase order or invoice or any of that, although all of those could be included in this whole packet. It's stupid how excited I am about this. So this one looks like it might be right. I'm going to click on it, take a look. My monitor is pretty tiny on my laptop here, but I did get a look at this on my larger screen. So I'm going to go ahead and just start with this. This way it gives me a good starting point. So I'm going to click on Create. You don't have to do it this way either. And forgive me, I'm getting over being sick, so I might have to pause it here and there. But this is a good starting point here. We've got all the necessary fields here. You can, of course, change whatever you want here. But this, I just like this as a starting point. So you can add your own company logo here if you want. I'll just leave it there. What I would do here is I would fill out your company information here. This one right here has today's date. See, we can see this formula in here. Another way that we can do this is type in now with those parentheses on either side, and that works the same way. Sometimes that'll throw in the time there if that's needed for you. You can put in an order number there, a customer ID. Now, something that you may want to do, depending on how many customers you have, is if you have a customer database, what you can do is create a drop-down, so you can select the customer ID from a drop-down list here. Otherwise, you can manually type it in here. Again, if any of this can be pre-filled out already, you can do that. You can also link this to this information here. Again, that's using that drop down and then if this then that kind of thing here. So I'm going to just show you real quick on how you could do that. It's a little bit of a it's a little advanced, but you may want to do that if you already have the information. So what we can do here is I'm going to copy these. So I just highlighted them and Control C or Command C, depending on if you use Mac or not. And then I'm going to click in the second field here, and we're going to go to Home and then Paste. And then we want to do, okay, I'm just going to click on Paste Special. We want to do Paste Transpose. So let's see how this works. I haven't usually used this before. There we go. So it's a little strange here. We don't want to merge and center. So I'm going to unclick that. So here we go. Double click, spread those out there. And it looks like there's a fill. I'm going to remove the fill. There we go. So, okay, so here's what this is going to do here. So, customer ID. So I will just copy that right there. So I'll just do ABC 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I guess. Oops. Paste that down here. So give it a header, customer ID, and then I'm going to type the contact name, company name, and ideally you would actually put in the actual information here. And the phone number. 800-555-1234. There we go. So now what you can do from here is, oops, I can't even get that right. There we go. So I'm going to just do ABC 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and then I'm going to click on there and just drag down. Okay, there we go. And then I'll just copy this down just to give some fields here. So, okay, so say we have our customer information here. I'm going to rename this tab here. I right-clicked on it. I'm going to go up to rename. So, customers. And once you're done filling out this information, you can always hide these tabs too. I'm getting really detailed here, but this is how I would probably do it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to highlight all of these. Maybe go down a few extra actually. And I'm going to name it. I'm going to name it lowercase customer ID, all one word. So now I've named this field. So what I can do from here is now create that drop down menu. So from right here, I'm just going to delete that. And then I'm going to go to data here, and I'm going to do data validation. So I want to select data validation. And right here for the criteria, I want to change this to list. And then the source. So this wants to know the source. So I'm going to do equals, and then I named it customer ID. And I want this to be the in-cell dropdown and ignore blank. That's fine. So I'm going to click OK. So now you see this drop-down button has shown up here, and there's all these customer numbers. So now what we can do is when you select one of these, we can set these fields up to automatically pull this address information for that customer right here. So what we're going to do here is we want to do a lookup formula. So we can click on this formulas button here. So let's see, I'm going to delete that. And I'm going to click on insert function right here. So this is going to be vlookup. So it's vertical lookup because my data is stored in columns. So I'm going to select vlookup. Okay. So lookup value, that is this customer ID number. So I'm going to, you can click on there, but I can already see it right here. So I'm just going to click there. So it's going to select G5. And then the table array, that's where it's going to look up the data for this. So I'm going to click here. And I'm just going to copy all of this, and I'm going to drag it down just in case I end up adding more customers. And then the column index number. So what I'm looking up first is the contact name. So it's going to be 2. So this is 1, this would be 2. And you can see it shows up down here. So if it, as long as it looks correct, you're good. So range lookup. So I'm going to type false. Okay. What this does, so if you leave it blank or you put true, what it's going to do is it's going to, if it can't find this number, it's going to find whatever is closest to it and pull the information from that. You don't want that. You want exactly the information for this customer number, and you'd probably rather get an error than the incorrect information, because last thing you want to do is ship it to the wrong customer or bill the wrong customer. So I'm going to type in false there and click on OK. So there we see that it's pulled this information here. So it's pulled in the contact name. So now what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to copy this. But before we copy it, I want to make sure that we are pulling from the same exact areas. Because if I copy this down here, it's going to shift everything. So I don't want it to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here. I'm going to put a $sign before G, and I'm going to put a $sign before 5. That means that no matter where I copy and paste this formula, it's always going to pull the customer ID number, this first field here, from G5. Also, we want it to pull from customers A1 through F38 or wherever, however far. Now the thing that I do want to change is this last number. So I'm going to leave that because that's kind of that's where I'm telling it to pull the information. So I'm going to hit enter. Okay, I'm going to go back. I'm going to copy this formula. I'm going to hit escape, and then I'm going to go here, and I'm going to paste it. So now I'm going to change this to 3 because I want it to pull from the 3rd column. So there's company name. That's exactly what we wanted. Let's see if it'll still let me paste. Okay, perfect. So now I want it to look on 4 for the address. Boom, there we go. Gonna paste this. Gonna change that to 5. And again, if you cannot remember what you're doing here, you can always click on this and bring it up, so that way you can see them in a way that makes sense. And lastly, the phone. I'm gonna paste that there. So this should be 6. All right. So that way it automatically pulls up the customer information for that by that account number. I did enter the same exact information for all of the customers, but if I were to select a different one, this would all update with that correct information. If you want to, if you have ship to addresses for these customers, I mean, you can set that up over here as well. Maybe have another field here. Maybe this could be, you can update these all to bill to, and then these, have the same information but have their ship to information here. You can do that. That's just an option for you. Salesperson, I would do the same thing as I did right here. I would list the salespeople, go up to data and create that validation. So I had drop downs for it. Same with probably shipping method, shipping terms. Delivery date I'd probably leave. Payment terms, so if you have specific payment terms for these customers, you can do the same thing. So you can set up that vlookup and you can add that. So maybe they are, oh, and it's been so long I've worked in this industry, but I mean, whatever, 90 days. I'll just put that there. So if that's the terms, you can do that here. So again, I would do that actually, forget that. I'm going to copy this formula here. I do that vlookup. I'm going to paste that in there. I'm going to click on here to open this up, and then I'm going to click here because I forget which field it's in. So this is, I think 8. So, oh shoot. Okay. So that should be 8. Nope, that was not 8. Maybe it's 9. Okay. Well, what is it? It is 8. Alright, well, I don't know why that's not pulling the terms. But you get where I'm going with that. Okay, you can set that up. Okay. And then due date, again, you can have that feed off of this. So again, down here, if you want to create those, I would definitely create drop downs for this. Item number, I would create a whole item number sheet here. So item number, I would put the description. Let's see, what else? Unit price. I would create fields here. So then you can have that drop down here. And actually, I will do that real quick. I'm going to pause it so you don't have to watch me typing. But I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. So I created this sheet here, items. So I just threw in a couple items. I named the area items here. So if you ever forget what you named something, you can click here on this drop down and it'll show you all the custom named areas you have. Also, something to make my life a little easier is I'm going to name this tab. I should have done it for this one. Exactly what I named that field, just as a visual reminder there of what that is. So I already put in my vlookup formulas here. I'm going to add my drop down again. So again, that's data validation. I want to select list, leave these as is, and I'm going to type equals and then items because, oops, that's in caps. So it has to be match the exact case. So again, keep that simple. So I'm going to click on OK. And my drop down box is selected. Now, Okay, so I'm going to want to have these fields all the way down, these formulas here, to automatically look up and add the price, but that looks kind of tacky there, so I'm going to undo that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to throw in this if error formula in here. Again, this is a little bit complicated. Don't get overwhelmed. It's not like you do this once and it's done. So I'm going to go right here after the equal sign. I'm going to make it all text and type if error. I'm going to put a parentheses here, the left one, and then I'm going to go to the end and I'm going to put a comma, and now I need to tell it what I want it to display if this ends up in an error. So that's going to happen anytime you don't have something in this item field here. So if you copy this formula all the way down and the person orders 4 things, they're going to have a bunch of errors, and that looks tacky. So what you can do here, you can put whatever you want. So maybe you want a dash or something else. I'm going to do maybe a space, see how that works out. So I did the the quotation marks. I'm going to hit space and another quotation marks, and I'm going to close it with a right parentheses. And you can see, I don't know if you saw this first one bolded up when I added the second one. You want to just make sure you've got start and end here. You've got that closure. So I'm going to click enter, and there we go. It worked perfectly. So I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to go in, jump right here, type if error, and then that left parentheses. Go down here, comma, no spaces right now. I want to enter the quotation mark, space, quotation mark, right parentheses, boom, it bolded over here. So we closed it out. There we go. So now we can copy and paste this all the way down. So it's going to automatically copy. So I also want to copy this validation down here. Paste it there. There we go. So you can see we've got the drop down box option there. When I click on it, it's going to pull that up, and it automatically puts the information in there. And I would recommend doing this, adding data to the forms while you're working them, just to make sure everything's functioning properly. Something else you might want to do is anywhere you've got formulas that should not be messed with, maybe change the color of that field, at least temporarily, so later on you're going to want to come back and you're going to want to protect the cells. So you can protect the cells so no one can change them. That's a good idea to do. Discount, you can also link the discount to this customer ID if you want to on this customer item. If they automatically get 10% off whatever they order, you can add that in right here. Otherwise you can do it manually. And then the line total. So this one already has a formula added in here. So it says, if this is less than 0, then leave it blank. Okay, so what we're going to do, how about we type in 24. So there we go. It automatically adds up for us. I want 15 and I want 18 of these. So there we go. So the price automatically adds. So they have it, so they've got that if scenario in there. So if this number is 0 or less, it just shows a blank space. And then down here they have the total, so that is the sum of all of this. Again, they've got that if it's 0, just leave it blank. Sales tax. Again, if you want to link sales tax to this customer number over here, maybe add a sales tax field, you can do that and do 9.5 or whatever, and then do that vlookup formula there. So if this is the customer selected, that's the tax percentage. Work a formula in there, you can do that. So okay, so this is our basic order form here. Now is where we get a little complicated. So we've got a couple more items here. So we've got the sales order, or this can be the order acknowledgement that goes out to the customer. You can change that here. So next we need a packing list. So that's going to be a little simpler than this. This goes out to the warehouse, so your employees can pick the order, and they just need to know how many, what item, and be able to mark off what they've selected there. So I'm going to create this new sheet here. So I'm going to rename it. I'll name it packing list. So we've already gone to the trouble of creating these formulas to include this information here. So what we can do is, if you want to copy a lot of this information, what you might actually want to do is, okay, you can recreate it here if you want to. You can also copy this. So I'm gonna start by copying. So I want to create a copy. It'll be called sales order 2, but I'm going to pull it over here. I'm going to delete packing list, or I'll just call it packing list 2. So we already have all this information here. So what you can do is you can delete certain fields on here if you want to. Like they don't need to know the price or discount or line total. But the thing is you want this information to transfer over. So what I would do, I want to unmerge this. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just delete this information here. See, this is where's that merge? There we go. Unmerge. I'm going to delete this because they are not, the warehouse workers are working their butts off. They've got a lot of stuff going on, so we want to remove anything that's unnecessary to what they're doing. Company name and ship to, that's helpful in case somebody needs to follow up on an order. Hey, where are we at with that? XYZ company with their order. It's good for them to have that information on there. Salesperson, that's good to keep on there in case they have a question about the order. Job, probably good. It's a reference number. Shipping method, shipping terms, due date, all of that's really helpful. So if there's a next day order, or next day shipping order that needs to get shipped quickly, they can see that right on there. But so we have right here quantity, item number, description. So then what I would do over here is I would just have a line. So I'm just going to do line. And again, I have not worked in this industry for a while, so you may want to have a couple lines here. So so you can have packed and you can have on back order. So if any are missing, they can indicate that there. And I'm just using this underline here. And actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to move this over here so there's a space between the two lines. So it's really clear. So let's do a quick print preview. So we'll have the lines there. So packed and on back order. So I'm going to just click escape to get out. And then same for all of these down here. So, and they don't need to see all this information down here. So I'm just going to delete that. So we want to do bottom, and we want that to be black. There we go. See, Excel gets a little picky about what it shows here. So we want top and bottom borders. I'm just going to do all borders, and then I'm going to undo left, and I'm going to undo right. There we go. Although that didn't do it. Okay. And also, since you're going to have people writing, like manually writing on this, what I would do is I would space it out a little bit, give them some room. So drag it down a little bit, make it a little bit bigger. I would make the text a lot larger too, so they can see what they're looking at. That's going to help them be able to see the order clearly, especially if they're working in the warehouse. It's going to be kind of dark in there. So now, here's what I would do. So you're going to have one sheet where you enter the information, okay? That's going to be this sheet. So what I want to do here is I don't want to have to enter the information more than once. That's wasteful. So I'm finished with how I want this. I'm going to change this to, sorry, I'm going to change this to packing list. So what I'm going to do here, I'll just delete this, okay? I'm going to delete all of this. And I just want it to mimic exactly what's on the sales order. So I'm just going to click equals. So the first thing is quantity. I'm going to hit OK. Same thing here, equals item number right there. And right here equals. There we go. That's all I need. And then I'm going to copy this and I'm going to drag it down. So that way it copies everything that's there. Ah, some are merged and centered. We don't need that. Okay. Let's try this again. That's why. Okay. Description was merged and centered. Okay. So we are going to drag this down. There we go. If we don't want 0 values to show up, I do have a video on that, but I'll show you real quick. So go up to File, Options. We want Formulas. There we go. And then there should be a field about 0 values. Let's see. Maybe it's in advanced here. Right here. Under display options for this worksheet, we can do 0. Uncheck this box. There we go. I'm going to... Okay. So that this means that this is just going to copy whatever is typed on here. So you're going to want to do it for, probably just do it for all of the fields. I would get rid of this vlookup. We want to just hit enter to right there and so on. So I will leave you to do that because this video is getting kind of long. So this is for the packing list. So then from here, we want to do the bill of lading. So again, you'll probably want to start by copying the sales order. And I'm going to click on this create a copy. And I'll bring this over here. And I'm going to change this to bill of lading. So again, you're going to want to put whatever information is necessary for your bill of lading. I would, again, copy this. I would do the equals here, copy so it automatically pulls from all of these fields. And what you might want to do while you're setting this up is change the color or do something so you know that you've already completed it, and then go ahead and fill out a dummy order or two just to make sure that the fields are transferring as expected. So this I'm going to rename bill of lading. And then whatever information you need to have on this bill of lading, I'd put down here. And you might want to have 2 copies because typically the drivers will sign a copy and leave it with your with your warehouse, and then they will have a copy to take with them as well that goes along with the shipment. So what you can even do is once you've completed this bill of lading, you can copy it and let's see, I'm going to put it right back here. So then I would have bill of lading 2. So then this could be the driver's copy, and you can even specify that down at the bottom. You can have a you know, a line here where the driver needs to sign. You know, sign here, and then, you know, date. And then you can say, you know, whatever your company is, my company copy. And then you can have on the bottom here, you know, driver's copy. So this way you've got all of these on separate tabs. Now what you might want to end up doing is, once you have all of this completed, I'm going to slide this over here. You might want to just have everything on one page. That might be easiest to print everything all at once. So have your sales order where you're going to fill out all the information, and then you'll have your additional forms that automatically pull the data from your sales order. So you're only filling out the information once, and I would choose the sales order is probably going to be the most complex, where you're entering the most information. The packing list is not going to have as much information. The bill of lading may not have the same amount of information. So I would select the most complex order to be the one where you're actually entering the data there. So okay, so now you can combine all of these into to one, especially since you've used the same template here. So they're going to be pretty similar. So I'm going to copy this. So this is the whole sales order. I'm going to copy this. Actually, forget that. Why am I'm making this hard. I'm going to move or copy. So I want to move it to the end, create a copy. So I'm just going to rename this all docs print. Okay. So I've got the sales order. So now I want to insert a page break here. So I want to make sure that I've set the print areas correctly. So this one is already set up to print here. Now we should be able to view the print lines. Okay, so here we are, page layout. So if I want to insert a break, like right here, I can insert a page break. So you can see it's got this line here. So now what I'll do is I'll take packing list 2. I'm going to copy this. So there's nothing down here. I'm going to copy this. That's why it was important to keep everything similar. I'm just going to go right there. Make this a little, oops, this a little taller there. There we go. So now I can insert. See, I didn't do that formula on here, the zero value formula. So once I'm done with everything, I might want to go in and jump in and add that zero value. I'll just do it right here. So options, advanced, scroll down to display options for this worksheet, 0, uncheck that. There we go, our 0 problem is gone. So I'm at the bottom here. I'm going to just highlight this line, insert page break. Now I'm going to go to bill of lading 2. Again, copy this. Oh, that's number. I need 2 bills of lading. Sorry about that. So here's this one. This is all docs print. So I see that break there. I'm just going to paste that right there. Go underneath, insert a page break, bill of lading 2. I've already got it highlighted. So go right under that page break, print. All right. So that should be everything. And if it's helpful to you, you might want to just build them all right in the same on the same worksheet just to start off. But that's how I would do it, and let's take a look. So we've got your sales order. let's go to, okay, okay, there must have been a print area set already. So I'm going to highlight everything, print area, clear print area, there we go. So sales order, packing list, bill of lading. Oops, we skipped a page there, and there's bill of lading too. So I think we've got 2 page breaks in here. We must. I'm going to delete that. That's why, because see, this is where the page will automatically break, and then I added that second page break in there. So might need to, there we go. And what I would do then too is, if this is all the documents, I would just select all of this area here from the top down to the very bottom. So here's where it ends, right? I went way too far. So this is where the page ends. I would just do print area, set print area. So I don't know if you noticed before, it said 12 pages. We just want the 4. So we've got 4. So we've got your sales order, your packing list, bill of lading 1 that the driver signs, and bill of lading 2 that the driver takes with him. So I hope this was helpful. There is a way to do this. It is a bit complex, but it's not that complex. You've got a lot of options, and I am all for you. If there's a simpler way to do it that way. Don't double enter your data at all. Have one place where you can enter all of it. Even if you want to have even if you don't want to enter it into a sales order like this, what you can do is even just have fields where you just enter all the information, and then they automatically get pulled into here by using just that. It's so stupid simple that just typing equals this equals that. But that's how you would do it. So, Mike, I hope this was really helpful to you. This is a great way to do it. You don't have to get expensive software to do it. You can do it right in Excel. Have it saved. You can even, there's tons of things you can do. Hopefully this gets you off to a good start. So thank you again. And guys, if you have any questions on anything, let me know. If I've got the time and the know-how, I will show you how to do them. So thank you. Have a great day. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And thanks for tuning in.